With Coach Chris Geesman, continuing to build the legend. That's what him and Wes Doy penned that in their book on chapter 16. Their team went 10-1, 7-0 in the Northern Indiana Conference. Some great players on this one. Let's start with the players this time, Coach. All league players, first team, all conference. Dan Kaufman, Andy Green, Brent Clark, Mike Winslow, Paul Hanner, your kicker, Steve Lemming from Penn, Rod Schmidt, defensive tackle Aaron Winbigler, and James Beverly. That's just your first team. The second team, guys, Brian Shellstrade, I hope I got that right, and Eric Klein. Let's talk about that great group of boys. 1888.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, James Beverly, I believe this is like my about my 16th year at Penn. He was the first black player that we had. He moved in from Memorial and very, very much accepted by our team and coaches. Absolutely great kid. And he made the all-conference. He was DB. Boy, was he was a really good player. And that team, I think, was an unappreciated team as well. It was like the third straight undefeated team we have, and I think people started expecting that rather than appreciating it. And I think this was an excellent team, and we had one of our all-time great players moved in that year as a sophomore, Jeremy Lowry. He moved in from Texas, and he called up, and his dad said, "You know, we're moved in here. My son, he was the only sophomore, was invited to spring practice on their varsity, and I think he's pretty good and everything." So we were having our meetings for 2 days, just coaches. So we had him come into our meeting room, and he was a little kind of skinny kid, kind of shy, put his head down a little bit, and okay, and we talked to him and said, okay, gave him a calendar, and he walked out, and he said, "Oh, here's a highlight film from my last year," and he gave it to us. Okay, so put that on, Corey. And first play, he returned a punt 90 yards for a touchdown. I screamed, "Run out, stop that car. Corey, get him some t-shirts." We all run out, stop. Hey, we forgot to give you t-shirts. Hey, Jeremy, he hadn't met our staff yet. We're out there. Oh, was he good. And he ended up...
He's now the head coach at Paoli.
Yeah, now the head coach at Paoli, and 2-year starter and 3-year letterman. But I thought it was fun. And we also got another great moving kid named Rod Crescenzio. Played 4 years at St. Joseph College. And so we kind of hit the jackpot that year with 2 move-ins to go along with the rest of the players.
Well, let's talk about that on a sidebar, because with Penn's proximity to the University of Notre Dame, this was a great place for Notre Dame assistant coaches and head coaches to live in the Penn-Harris-Madison community, and you were fortunate that became a nice pipeline of coaches' sons, and there's nothing better than a coach's son.
No, and you figured it was going to be Penn, St. Joe, or Marion was going to get them, and they got a few, but we got some great ones. I ended up on my last team with Brian Madison, who is now coaching at Penn, but a 3-year starter at Iowa in the Big Ten. So I mean, yeah, we got some really good ones. And Terry Lance, I believe, was on he was on the '85 team. He was dad coached here, and we had a number of others over the years. We've Notre Dame. It's great having them there, and they've got some coming in the future that they're excited about already.
Once again, continue on this as the head coach of the football program. When you know you're working with another coach's son, like one of the Notre Dame guys. How does that relationship go for you? Do you treat that coach just like any other parent? I mean, and obviously you know, he certainly knows everything there is to know about the game, or he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. So can you shed some of your, how you approach that when you're working with another coach's son?
Well, it's like anybody else's son. You just want to be fair with them, and we got things that are proven, and we like doing things our way, and usually Dad appreciates that, and the son. I mean, they just they're now in. They're not in their dad's shadow. The sons aren't. They aren't. I know they're just Penn Kingsman, and I think it's well appreciated. I think that Mike Sanford, he would like to have had his son probably start more and play, but they never interfere. They really didn't. And I can tell you one. This is not for the pub.